Life has a way of hitting us, especially when we least expect it. Nasser showed us even in our hardest times, we're stuck with two options: let it break you or let it make you stronger. His story isn't about fear, but it's about purpose and resilience. Channeling the reset button no matter how hard, switching to a new perspective on life.
So please join us as we listen to Nasser Al Ghatami's speech.
Yo everybody, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Nasrul Ghatam. I apologize for not being able to deliver my talk in person today, in front of all of you. Today, I want to share with you a little story about my life. I was 10 years old when I was diagnosed with bone cancer, specifically Ewing sarcoma. I didn't understand anything, what was happening, but when I did, I thought that this was the end of the world. Everything I knew, everything I expected from my life, suddenly felt like it was collapsing. Through it all, something invisible was stolen from me. Taken from me. Time. Time I believed I had plenty of. Time I assumed would always be there, waiting for me. Time I moved through so casually, never imagining it could run out or shift so casually. Suddenly, every second, every minute, every hour mattered in a way I had never felt before. Moments that used to pass by without a second thought suddenly felt heavier, almost meaningful in a new way. Every moment felt important, meant to be cherished, and I found myself looking back, regretting all the time I'd spent on things that truly didn't matter. Things I thought were so big at the time, but now seemed so small. Life no longer felt endless. It no longer felt like something I could take for granted or stretch out forever. It hit me hard. This realization that time is fragile. That it can be taken, interrupted, or changed without warning. And because of that, everything felt urgent. And in that urgency, I realized I had two choices. Either I could let the setback define me, or I could hit life's reset button and rebuild my life with purpose, empathy, and clarity. Today, I want to share with you how this journey forced me to reset my life. All the lessons I learned along the way about resilience, perspective, and the value of every moment. Because sometimes the only way forward is to start over from square one. Okay, I want you to think about your phone for a second. Picture yourself holding it, scrolling through your apps until you find settings. You tap, scroll down to general, and there it is. The one option we all know exists but never want to press. Factory reset. With one tap, everything you thought you could always return to is suddenly gone. The photos you've saved, the messages you treasured, the apps you used every day, erased without warning. Moments, conversations, little pieces of your life all vanish in an instant. It's unsettling. It hurts to lose things you were so sure you couldn't live without. But then, something happens. The phone starts running smoother, faster, cleaner. It feels new again. Because all that's left are the parts that truly matter. That image right there became my life. When I got sick, it felt like someone had hit reset on me. All the fun moments, the routines that made up my days, from playing every sport, being in every team, to enjoying the sweets I loved. All of it vanished almost overnight. I didn't choose a reset, and honestly, at first, I hated it. But slowly, I started to see what was still there. what didn't disappear, the people who stayed, the moments that still held meaning, the quiet that finally gave me space to hear myself. All the unnecessary noise that had been cleared away. And what remained was simple: relationships, time, and purpose. I realized I didn't just need treatment. I needed a factory reset. A factory reset isn't instant. It's a process. And for me, it happened in 3 stages: wipe, reinstall, reboot. Stage 1: wiping the system, letting go of who I was before. The first step was the hardest: letting go of who I was before the diagnosis. I had to accept that the version of me who existed before wasn't coming back. I had to wipe the system, not my memories, but the mindset that always said I had to be strong, always had to have control, always had to keep moving. I learned that accepting the things you lost doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. That healing starts when you clear the space that pain once filled. And that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is to let go. Stage 2: reinstall the essentials. Rediscovering core values. Once I made up space, I had to decide what to keep and what to erase. And for the first time, I didn't want to reinstall everything. I chose gratitude, empathy, and purpose. I started noticing the smallest thing: the taste of breakfast in the morning, the people around me, the sound of laughter that I once had tuned out. Those became my default apps. Stage 3: rebooting, beginning again with a new mindset, and then became the days of new rebooting. When my treatment ended, I didn't return to who I was. I became someone new, someone who knew what truly mattered. Rebooting meant facing the world again, but differently. It meant slowing down in a world that glorifies speed. It meant saying no to things that drained me, and yes to things that filled me. The reboot was a new start. Not perfect, not easy, but real. Through that process, I learned 3 key lessons that shaped everything that came after. Resilience. A reset doesn't mean giving up. It means starting from square one. I used to think resilience was about pushing through. Now I know it's about restarting with intention and dedication. It's not about being unbreakable. It's about learning how to rebuild after breaking. Perspective. When everything gets wiped away, you finally see what truly matters. I used to fill every second with noise. Now I fill it with meaning. Cancer didn't just change how I saw light. It changed how I saw time. With that, my 3rd lesson. Time. Time isn't something we have. Time is something we use. Before my reset, I treated time like an unlimited data plan. Now, I treat it like a fragile, non-renewable source. You can always re-download an app, but you can't re-download a moment. That realization changed everything. Here's what I realized. You don't need a diagnosis to reset your life. We all reach moments when things stop working, when we feel overwhelmed, burnt out, or lost. Maybe they're your signal to reset. So I'll ask you this. If you were to hit your own factory reset, what would you keep? What would you let go of? Maybe your reset isn't about illness at all. Maybe it's about finally letting go of something or someone that's been weighing you down. Maybe it's about slowing down after life feels way too fast. Your reset doesn't have to happen because of everything fell apart. My reset didn't happen with a button. It wasn't simple. It wasn't instant. It happened through pain, through reflection, and through making choices I didn't always want to make. But I knew I needed to. And when I finally rebuilt myself, I learned something important. A factory reset isn't about losing everything. So I want you to remember this. It's not about deleting your past or pretending what happened. It's about remembering what's actually worth keeping. The parts of you that survived every moment that tried to break you. I want you to remember this. If your life ever freezes, if you ever feel stuck, overwhelmed, or like nothing's working the way it should, don't fear the reset. Because sometimes that exact moment, the one that makes you feel like the end, is the moment your real life begins. Thank you.